Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday today, June 15, 2022. We're happy to be here. Already summertime. It is incredible, and things are heating up at Healy as well. My name is Adriana Alvarez, Head of Sales for the Americas, and today this will be our agenda. Make sure that if you're watching the recording or know that you can also share it with others. So we'll start with maybe some operation updates with Jake Barron. We're gonna repeat again our Healympics promotion, which is incredible because you can earn a MagHealy anywhere between 12.5% discount up to 100% discount and be the first one to have it in your hands. So we're gonna speak about that. We have some recognition. We did it last week for those who earned it during May, but we already have some members who actually achieved already in June gold, silver, or bronze. So we're going to go over that as well. With that, we have an exciting moment. I am going to demo our MagHealy, and Doc Steve will walk you through some of the programs. So that's really exciting. Then we'll go over our first class promotion, which is our promotion for the month of June, which is incredible, where you can get the professional for 50%, including a coil. So huge, huge promotion. And then we have a guest, a very special guest, which you know her from, she joined us last year and towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, multiple times. And she spoke about the power of three. So we're going to have Susan Proctor here with us today to, again, go over some of the benefits of what it is to own a professional device. And last but not least, a reminder of our frequencies and friends this Friday with Marcus Schmiekes. So make sure you go onto our event site and that you are registered, because again, even if you cannot attend, you can go into that same link and watch the recording. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys know again, this call is being recorded and it will be shared on our Telegram group as well as in our YouTube channel, which has been recently very popular, by the way, and thanks to Jake and his team for making that available to all of us. Let's see in our chat. I haven't seen much activity yet, but where are you joining us from? And again, if it's your first time, we welcome you to our Healy family. Make sure that you mute yourself throughout this call.
Left. Okay,
Let's
so
make sure we do that.
It wasn't flowing that great.
All right, sorry about that. Make sure everybody is muted throughout this call and that you utilize the chat to ask any questions, whether it's from the content that we're sharing today or any also personal questions. It says that my connection is low. Are you able to hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. It just said my audio quality was not that great. Okay, Jake, so head of operations, anything you have for us?
Yeah, just a couple things. Catching up on some stuff. Was out the last few days, but I want to give a big thank you to Beth Mincher for helping out on Tech Tip Tuesday last night. I was unable to participate, so she went ahead and co-hosted with Ken. So thank you so much for doing that. That recording will be up on our YouTube page this afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. But very, very much appreciate you helping out last night. And then one other thing, I wanted to show something real quick, a new feature that we just launched late last week it was. We didn't make an announcement or anything, but a few people have noticed that when our tickets are closed out now, you always get an email saying your ticket has been closed, and then there's the ticket number and everything, but we've added a customer happiness rating basically to each of our tickets. So when we close out a ticket, within that email, is not in the ticket in the support center, and I'll show you here in a minute, but in the actual email, you can rate how satisfied you were with the response, how our team handled that ticket, anything from very satisfied, okay, or not satisfied. And then you can also add additional comments as well if you want to. So I just wanted to show everybody here how that looks. So if you're looking out for that, let me try to see if this will come up. Okay. So, all right. So see on the left here, I have the email of what, this is just a sample ticket that we had, of what the ticket looks like when it's closed out. And then you'll see here near the bottom, it says, please take a moment to rate your experience with Healy customer care. There's 3 options. And then when you pick those, it takes you to the screen over here on the right, a new window pops up. And then you can just submit it as is. If you just want to say you were satisfied, click submit. You don't have to actually type anything in, that's fine. But if there's any additional feedback or comments specifically related to how that particular ticket was handled, you can go ahead and type in some comments there. And we'll take a look at that feedback. You know, if it's great feedback, you just want to pass on to someone on our team who handled the ticket well, that is always appreciated. And then if you weren't satisfied, we want to know why, so we can help either improve the process or take a look at maybe one of the policies or of what we have here currently and how we can make that better going forward. So it's a little thing, but if you're not used to looking for this when the closed ticket email comes in, you could miss that. But just spread the word. We've had around, I think, 20-25 people or so submit feedback so far over the last few days, and we're looking forward to getting more feedback as well going forward in the future, so we can improve the experience and have all happy customers here at Healy is the goal. So, all right, let me stop that. So I think that is all I have from my side today. Let me see if there's any questions here. Yep, that's it from my side.
So actually, this wasn't on my agenda, but I see some members already writing from Canada, and this has been an upcoming question. And again, there's been a year in the creation, even since I joined back in February of 2021. But good news is that we are on track to launch on July 5th. Okay, so we are sending a newsletter. You should all receive it no later than end of the week, tomorrow. Make sure that you're in the lookout, because it will have some details depending on or some of the process. If you have an American address or a US address or another market address and you want to change it back to Canada, there's a KYC process, and everything is on that newsletter, as well as some of our areas will need to get special permission, MLM license, right, Jake? You will call that? I don't know.
Yeah,
if
so there's Canada, there's many different steps that have gone into certainly getting us ready to launch. One is an overall, the compensation plan has to be reviewed by the Consumer Protection Office there, to Competition Bureau, sorry, to be reviewed and approved to be used throughout Canada. And then some of the provinces have individual requirements where an individual member has to get a license to be able to sell, recruit Healys in that particular province. And the process for that is different just within those provinces that require that. Some you can do it online, some you actually have to physically mail the application form for us to physically sign. So a little bit of an old school process there, but we're going to have a newsletter with details on everything and all the little requirements that differ from province to province. But overall, yeah, we're just very excited to get started, because I know a lot of you have been waiting a long time for us to officially open Canada.
Absolutely. So good news. We wish we could have done it earlier, but the thing is, we're doing it the right way. So we are fully stocked in Canada. ready to start business. So as soon as you receive that newsletter, if this impacts you or anybody in your teams, make sure that you are doing the right communication, letting everybody know the steps they need to follow in order to accept the terms and conditions, because now they go from a BV to the US entity, and as well of any special licenses that they need personally, depending on where they reside. So I know this impacts not only some that have had US addresses, but also international addresses in any of our open markets, but still residing in Canada. So we're super, super excited about that. It's just around the corner, and it's getting excited that every time we get in a meeting that everything is green light and everything is in full blown, ready to go. Again, fingers crossed, no hiccups, right? Let's put coherence out there on on July 5th after a long weekend, holiday weekend. But we are really excited. We understand that probably the month of July is going to be a little bit of an administrative point, right, to get everybody set up the proper way. But if you don't meet those deadlines that we are sending, then e-wallet, iPayout, and your referral link will be blocked. So again, if for any reason, maybe you are communicating and your communication doesn't go out there to those Canadian members, they would be able to see it right away when they go into their shop. So important that they take advantage of this few weeks or a couple weeks, 2 weeks that we have in between, to get all of that paperwork going, accepting terms and conditions. So when July 5th comes, they're not blocked for any reason. But the good thing is that, of course, they'll know immediately why that is and everything that they need to submit. So keep an eye out for that newsletter. And again, if you have any questions, I'm also going to be scheduling some Zoom calls. All of you are invited, anybody's invited, but of course, make sure that if you have any Canadian member, to make sure that they join that Zoom meeting for any FAQs. And we'll go over again the process, any documents they need to submit, and so forth. So that will be going out. I'll share it with you guys next week on here, since by then the newsletter should be out and we have even more closer to the deadline with all the things. So you can all join, have yourself informed as well, because if you want to expand, we obviously want you to focus here in the US business, but if you have friends and family and customers, clients in Canada, then you can inform them the proper way. So any questions? We're good to go.
No, you got a lot of happy people jumping up and down. So
Yay. I mean, I wish I could see them in camera, just jumping up and down. So with that, I'm going to move on to a very exciting topic, which is our Healympics promotion. As we all know, we have this promotion that has been running since the month of May and now extended to the month of June as well, where you can be one of the first MagHealy owners. Not only that, you can also earn it at a discount. So whether you earn bronze, silver, or gold package, you can get it from starting at 12.5% up to all the way to 100% commission, not commission, sorry, discount. So we wanted to share a little moment with all of you where I'm going to actually start sharing my screen. And here you can see some of the top features of our MagHealy, right? Where it emits a magnetic field. It has 4 unique modules. We're going to speak about that actually more. It's easy and convenient to use. You can actually do dual magnetic frequencies. And not only that, you can do it run the MagHealy along with the Healy device. The apps don't interfere with each other, so that's fantastic, where you can run both. So I'm going to stop sharing on here and I'm going to share on my phone. Give me 1 second. And with that, Doc Steve is going to join me. I just want to make sure all of you can see my screen before we do that.
So to me, one of the most exciting aspects of having the MagHealy is that now we get to cover the bases. And what I mean by that is that there's many different frequency devices, as we know, that are out there on the market, but we will now be the only frequency device that works in all modalities. And what I mean by that is that we can now deliver frequencies electrically through our microcurrent. We can now deliver frequencies through scalar wave, through our coil. And now, finally, with the MagHealy, we can deliver frequencies through pulsed magnetic waves. So we now work in the electric, scalar, and magnetic fields, which sets us apart from any other device that I am aware of on the marketplace. So to me, that's really, really exciting. And as Adriana mentioned, the MagHealy itself is divided into 4 different main program sets. We have the classic programs 1 and 2, which are classic magnetic frequency programs. We have the atmosphere programs 1 and 2, and we'll go into these a little further in a moment. The atmosphere programs are the programs that are used to work as it sounds in our environment. So these are programs that we can place in a room within a group of people. And that frequency that is being sent by the MagHealy will affect everybody in that room. We then, of course, have the water frequencies, which allows us to put our MagHealy next to a glass pitcher of water, and then transfer those frequencies directly into the water, drink that water throughout the day. Why is this important? Well, water is what carries the frequencies in our bodies. We're made up of anywhere from 70 to 95% water, depending upon the organ. And the water is really what transmits frequencies throughout all the cells of the body, especially in the connective tissue, where we have what's likened to be a liquid crystal matrix. And so it's always important, as I always share, to be very, very hydrated, to make sure that before you're doing a Healy session, any Healy session, you drink up to 1 liter of water within an hour. And of course, you want to drink water throughout the day. And now we have an even better reason to drink water, because now we can specifically send frequencies to the water to be able to create certain changes in our body. So why don't we now look at the specific programs themselves, Adriana? So the classic programs, as I mentioned, are what are called classic magnetic programs, and we have programs to affect the cell, regeneration, which again, people that are familiar with our bioenergetic vitalization program group, which is included in the professional, but it is also a add-on subscription, works with the frequencies of stem cells. And what you'll find as we go through these programs, you're going to see some overlaps between the names of the programs that we have here in the MagHealy and some of the programs that you're already familiar with in your Healy. And what's great about this is that when you run the MagHealy, you can actually should be able to run the Healy along with it, because what you wind up creating is a coherent field between your Healy and your MagHealy, and they begin to go into coherence with one another, which means they're amplifying the signal and they're actually communicating to one another. And the thing about the MagHealy is that it has 2 quantum sensors, not just one. And that becomes important when we start talking about the McMakin programs. So again, Adriana is going through some of these programs here.
And I want to point out, Doc, if you can show, like, if I hope you all saw it too, that it has different applications depending on the program. So here you see a lot of them can be on the chest, as well as, for example, behind your neck.
Yes, as a matter of fact, when you're using the MagHealy, if we're working with specific organ systems, it's best to actually place the MagHealy itself directly upon the area that you're looking to treat.
And to your point, like you said, some overlapping on the programs. For example, you will see sleep not only on the classic, but also on the atmosphere, as well as water, and also on the McMakin. So I'll go into classics program 2 if you want to talk to them about that.
So in Classics Program 2, we have a program it's a holistic program to balance the body, a program to circulate energy through the body. Positive mood is a great one to run all the time. The Earth program gets you in tune with the Schumann frequencies of the Earth, which is always good to connect to the Earth. Some of these just came down for us, by the way, in the last day or two. So I'm just experimenting with them, checking them out. I'm not sure yet what all of the programs are for. The Sound of Silence would be a program that you might want to run. One of the programs you might want to run during a meditation, for example. Again, we'll have more info as it comes available. So here are the atmosphere programs. They're becoming some of my favorite programs here, because with the atmosphere programs, many of them run up to about 4 hours at a time, and you can place them in a room and then affect everyone in that room. So if you have any children that are, doing homework, study, that's such a great one. Children playing is one to put in a room of children to encourage them to play. Creativity would be a great program to run. Say, like myself, I'm a glass artist on the side. That's my creative inputs. So I run the creativity program while I'm doing my glass art. Office would be a program you'd run for people in an office situation. If you're looking to create prosperity in your life, run the prosperity program. So the car program is really an important one. A lot of people now are using electric vehicles. And the downside of electric vehicles is that they do create sort of a electronic cage effect in the car. And it's been said that that electric effect of electric vehicles can potentially have a negative side effect to somebody in the car, especially when you're driving every day or you're commuting for long hours. So what you want to do is take your MagHealy and run it while you're in the car. If you're on a long trip, run it to clear out some of that negative impact of it being an electrical vehicle. I'm sure Ken is going to enjoy this one, which is the workout program, which allows you to run the MagHealy. Say you're at the gym or you have a home gym, to have the MagHealy on while you're doing your workouts. It will help support that for you. We have the, where are we here? No, we're still on the one, if we can go back. We have the Family Harmony. Family Harmony is a great program to run. Say when everyone's having dinner in the evening and we're all together at the dinner table, that would be a good one to run. Children playing is a great one to run now that all kids are, because the weather is nice outside. Maybe you want to have this outside with your kids and they're running in the yard, or if your children are involved in any summer sports, it could be fun to bring it while they're playing, baseball or soccer, etc. Program while you're eating to help balance you while you're having your meals. A program to cleanse food. Many of us have rituals where we pray before we eat. And this allows us to cleanse some of the energy in the food that we're eating. A program to run in the kitchen when we're actually preparing food. And one for the pantry to clear any issues, again, with any toxicity in the food that we eat, to clear some of the chemical nature of the food. Then we have one of my favorite ones to run is the stress atmosphere program. And so I usually am running this one a lot of times when I'm working in my office. Coherence, of course, we know that coherence is an extremely important program, one of Marcus's favorite programs. And when I run the coherence program, it'll bring the space that I'm in into a state of coherence. But at the same time, I'm also using my Healy with my coil around my neck and running the coherence program simultaneously, so that both the Healy and the MagHealy come into coherence. An energy program to increase the energy and vitality in a room. A relaxation program, say at the end of the day when you're watching TV or just chilling, to run that. Holistic health is one that we're familiar with. It's also One is a general balance of all areas of the body. Sleep, of course, is a great program. What I have found with the sleep program personally is that if I know, for example, I can't get my 8 hours of sleep, I will absolutely run this program, because what I have found is that even if I can get, 4 hours that I'm running the sleep program, when I wake up in the morning, my body actually feels as if it had a full 8-hour sleep, which is really great. Again, chakra balancing can be run when we're doing, some of the chakra programs and the aura programs. Animal harmony is a real cool one. So you all know that I have my little Bichon Teddy, who's my therapy dog in my office. And so I tried the animal program actually yesterday for the very first time. So it was during the day. Teddy was active. He was kind of in the office here, kind of running around, being his really friendly self. And I turned the animal harmony program on in the room. And I can tell you that within 5 minutes of me turning the animal program on in the room, Teddy went to sleep. He just literally went out and started snoring and dreaming. So that's a really great program to run for anyone that has animals that have, situations where when they go to work, their animal gets very anxious, anxiety, separation anxiety. So wouldn't it be great to run this when you leave your house and your dog is, behind? Just set it up and run the animal program, the animal harmony. That'll bring your dog into a state of balance and relaxation. Electrosensitivity, of course, is always a great program to run. We're always exposed to things, especially these days, 5G, I should say, and this will help clear that in a room, as well as energy clearing. So a lot of people do what's called the process of actual energy clearing. So this is a program that will actually clear the energy of a space, which is really cool. Chakra balancing can be done along with the chakra programs. This is an important one, the relationship program, especially running when you and your partner are in the same room at the same time. If you're having any issues or arguments, it would be really cool to run that relationship program at the time you're having your discussions for clearing. What's the next one, Adriana?
Hold on, because my screen stopped sharing. And we can go over more in detail on all the future calls too.
Right.
But just this is a quick overview. Because we definitely have time to be able to go over more in detail, I recall.
Animal harmony, I just went over, and then one for our plants, to assist our plants to grow and balance, or placed in a garden, or say you have a food garden that you're creating, say on your deck or out in the field, to be able to place this there. The water activation programs, as I said, allow us to actually infuse the water that we drink with various programs to support various areas. And you want to put the MagHealy in very close contact with the water you're drinking. It's always recommended that you use a glass pitcher or a glass container as opposed to plastic. And as you can see here, we have various programs that support many of our other programs here. Water coherence. If you know you're going to be in a stressful situation, you can have some water that's going to help you deal with that stress, or even after the stressful situation, which is really, really great. Again, I would before you go to bed at night, if you're going to drink a glass of water, run the sleep frequencies into the water that you drink before you actually go to bed. There's one for plants. So that one is used so that if you want to actually water your plants, you put the MagHealy on top of the container that your pitcher that you're going to use to actually water your plants, and you can give a lot more energy and vitality to your plants by doing that. We move next into the McMakin programs. And as I said, these are the McMakin programs use the true dual frequency system built into the MagHealy, which allows us to run 2 simultaneous frequency programs at the same time. And what you'll see on the screen when you're running these programs is that you'll actually see the 2 different, we're used to seeing the 1 frequency that comes up. You'll now see the 2 frequencies that come up. And with the McMakin system, we know that one of those frequencies is specific to the organ that we're treating, and one of the frequencies is specific to the condition. So for example, if there's inflammation in your neck, you could run the neck program which will show up with, treat the neck, but it'll also treat the inflammation, which is the condition of the neck. As we can see, it goes through the various parts of the body, shows you exactly where to place the MagHealy. And there'll be a couple of changes here coming in the next couple of weeks as a beta tester for all the Healy products, being on the Healy product development board. I'm able to make some specific recommendations and changes. So we have decided that we're going to change a few of these programs. We have the Vegas program, which to me, as I always explain when I talk about the Vegas, it's probably my favorite program in all of Healy. Now we can run the Vegas program with the MagHealy and at the same time do a Vegas treatment on ourselves by taking the sticky pads and placing them behind our ears. And the importance of that is that, as we know, the vagus nerve is one of the most important, if not the most important nerve that runs throughout the body. And it brings the body back from sympathetic into parasympathetic. And most people are running sympathetic most of the day, which is when you're in your stress, fight or flight state. And this will move you into parasympathetic, which is your state of rest and relaxation. So an extremely important one. A detox program that can be used along with all of our specific detox programs on the Healy. And you can place them in various organ areas like the liver or the kidney or the lungs, which are some of your major organs of detox in the body. For women, ovaries, for any kind of conditions that you're dealing with, if you're trying to get pregnant, that might be a good one to use also. Sinuses, for anyone that experiences any kind of seasonal allergies, that's a good one to run.
So I'll go ahead and I can run one, actually. Let's do, how do you guys feel about positive mood if we ran it for everybody right now?
Well, actually, why don't you run one on the McMakin, because I want to show the just for a moment, and then we can move it back to run the positive one. But when you pick a McMakin program, the benefit of doing that, as you'll see in a moment, first of all, it's very fast. It runs really quick. And as you'll see here, you'll see the amount of time, and then you'll see channel A and channel B. And those are the simultaneous programs that are running, because we have two quantum sensors in the MagHealy. So we're always running two frequencies simultaneously. And they will change just like when we run a regular Healy program. And those programs, again, are specific to the person that's running the program. So they're not just set programs, but they are specific to the person that's running those programs. And we can raise the frequency, just like we can raise the intensity, just like we raise the intensity on our regular programs. But I really have to caution you guys that what we're finding, there's a few of us in the US, a handful of us that have the MagHealy. What we're finding is that a MagHealy is extremely, extremely powerful. And therefore, this is a program that I would absolutely start at a very low level and bring it up gradually. And Adriana has a little anecdote to share about running the animal program on her animal.
Yes, and I have a very hyperactive dog. I mean, very hyperactive. Ken knows that Australian Shepherds are a handful. And he just, I mean, to see that reaction in such a instant, and how at 0% he was still having a reaction. I could tell he was still breathing deeply and then went to sleep on the MagHealy. I've shared some pictures with some of the members.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. With Teddy, I put it sort of in his vicinity, and as soon as I turned it on, the moment I turned it on, he kept looking at the MagHealy, just looking and looking and looking, because he was feeling something coming out of there. And as I said, less than 5 minutes, he just And he wasn't time for him to go to sleep or anything. He just literally, his eyes started to flutter, you know how dogs get, and his eyes were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And finally, he just sort of lay down in the chair. And the next thing I knew, he was in like REM sleep, because I can tell when my dog is when he's dreaming. He makes certain noises, he kind of twitches around, and he literally went to sleep. So all of you that have either hyperactive dogs or dogs that have separation anxiety, this is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing for you to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think you saw on the screen all the different, all the programs have different times. Most of the atmosphere ones go up to 255 minutes, which is great. And then you have different placements from the chest, like Doc Steve was saying, depending on the organs, your joints, positive mood, like, I mean, not this one is on the chest, but then you have some on your neck, on your liver, stomach, etc. And I don't know if you notice how fast the program just downloads. It is so fast, so easy. It is very user-friendly. Extremely. Right. I mean, just from downloading the app to downloading the program, it is very quick. And so far hasn't been glitchy for me.
No, not me either. And the thing I want to point out again is that this is not a replacement for the Healy. These are two separate devices. They actually work differently. They work together as a team, Marcus says they communicate with one another. Once you turn them both on, they go into a resonant state so that they actually amplify the power of each of them. So I would recommend doing it together. I have not tried this yet, but my next experiment is to run a microcurrent program, and then at the same time, run a scalar program through my second Healy, and then run the MagHealy to have all three of them working simultaneously, and to see what kind of effect that I get from that. I'm sure it's going to be really, really powerful. So I am so excited about this device, and it's really going to be something that I think even people that initially may not have been interested per se in the Healy for their bodies, once they see things like the atmosphere programs and the water programs, I think that's going to really shift people's focus to really wanting to have this in their homes. And again, we'll get more specific as time goes on. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Doc. And somebody just asked, what is the base price? So it will start at 2,800 euros, and potentially eventually with some additions going to it as well. But for now, we plan on launching towards the end of July, beginning of August, and it will be at the base of 2,800 euros. But again, those of you who earn it with the MagHealy, with the Healympics incentive, will be some of the first ones to get it in your hands. So again, we had some that already accomplished it during the month of May, and you can still do it in the month of June. So not only about the discount, it's about getting it in your hands first. So in May, if you achieved it, then you could have earned 12.5%, either by option 1 or option 2. Option 1 is your personal customers and members. Option 2 is with your first and second line. So either accumulate 2,000 points or 4,000, 3,000 for 25%, or 6,000, and 5,000 or 10,000 for the 50%. Now, again, this promo is cumulative. So if you achieve that in May, you still have a chance to upgrade your discount in the month of June. And if you weren't able to play in May, again, June is the month you want to take advantage, because with the same qualification of points, either option 1 or option 2, then you can add on an additional 12.5% to, let's say, what you achieved in May, an additional 25%, and an additional 50%. So those who achieve gold in the month of June, I hope you're all going for, in May, that you're all going for June to achieve 100% discount. So again, you can mix and match your packages. So it can be bronze and bronze, silver and silver, gold and gold, or it can be maybe in May you did bronze, but this month you did silver. Then you accumulate the 12.5 plus the 25% for silver. Same with gold. Let's say May you did 50%, but maybe June is a bit of a slower month, so you achieve silver. So you get the 50% from gold in May, and then the 25% for silver in June. But again, I hope you're all aiming to finish June strong so you can earn your discount at Healy and be one of the first ones to have it. So I'll go quickly. We did this last week, but I want to again congratulate everybody who achieved either bronze, silver, or gold in the month of May. I suggest you give a shout out to anybody in your teams who earned the 12 for 5 discount as of May 29th. Again, these numbers may change depending on the closing of the month. Here we have our silver achievers from May as of May 29. Congratulations to all of you. Give yourself a round of applause, and for those of your team members and peers. And of course, our 50% earners in the month of May for achieving gold. So congratulations to all of you. But also, like we said, in the month of June, we already have some additional qualifiers. And as of today, the 12th, I believe, this data, yes, as of June 12th. So congratulations again to everybody on the screen who earned our bronze in the month of June. You also have additional earners in silver, and this is as of June 12th. Congratulations to all of you, and our gold achievers as of June 12th with 50%. So congratulations. I see their Frequency family and Jessica Hesser already have their 100% since they did it in June and now in July, in May and in June. Given that, of course, there are no returns, etc. As you know, we have that 21-day grace period. So congratulations to all of you. I see the chat is going on, but let's put some good vibration out there to motivate each other to accomplish even higher. So with that, of course, make sure you take advantage of our first class promotion for this month. And this is either for existing members or for new joiners. Or somebody asked me the other day, well, as a new, do I have to be a new joiner to be able to get my professional at 50% plus a coil? No, it is a new purchase for the month. So new joiners or new purchasers can take advantage of the Healy Professional at 50% discount, and this includes the Healy coil on top of that. Now, for existing members, let's say you already have a Healy resonance, or whether it was a new Healy resonance or it was a lifetime Healy resonance from last year, you can also upgrade for 900 euros. Okay, so if you have a resonance device, make sure you take advantage of it and that you upgrade it to professional. And for that, we have Susan Proctor here today with us again, speaking about the power of 3, which is one of our modules that are available, whether you purchase it on its own or you upgrade. And she is our expert and lover of this program. So thank you, Susan, for being with us here today. And we can't wait to hear everything you have to share with us today.
Oh, thank you. I know we're running a little bit late, so we're going to be extra succinct, but yes, you're absolutely right. I'm in love with this program group. And as you know, the reason that we're focusing on it a little bit today is that this really valuable group is available as part of the professional edition, and that's the only edition that includes this group. So it's really a bargain given what we're looking at this month, and that's why we're revisiting it, because we actually haven't talked about it in a while. And what's really cool is since we spoke about it, I had a chance to meet Marcus and ask some questions, and so we have even more information than we did before. So this is what I'd like to share, being succinct today about the Power of 3. It is a program group that was released back in October, actually on my birthday, which was no coincidence to me. And it has programs in it about Ayurveda. And many of you know me, I've been an Ayurvedic practitioner for 30 years. And that was one of the things that was so exciting to me about getting involved with Healy and with Marcus, is that he was a Vedic monk. And there's a lot of resonance going into the way he designed all of this that really spoke to me deeply. So when this program group came out, it's called The Power of 3. one of the things I want to mention about it is it's a little bit different from the other program groups that we work with, because when it was released, we were instructed and advised about how to use it. And we use it a little bit differently than we do most of the other groups. Because the advice was when we first start working with the Power of Three, to have a 9-week protocol where we're using each of the 3x3 program groups 3 times a week. So I know that's a little confusing. Let me break it down. There were 3 program groups that were introduced. The first one included classical physical, classic energetic, and and the Zapper protocol. The second group is the doshas, the Ayurvedic doshas of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And the third, conflict, balanced, event support, and friendly flora. I'm reading them off my device here. And one of the things I want to share about this group is, in addition to addressing physical symptoms, which of course we are all working on with the Healy, this group of programs is also very profound. And there's a very nice little flyer that you can download in your back office just to get a little bit more background about this. And I would recommend that if you're going to be working with this group. But the 3 that I mentioned last, the conflict, balanced, event support, and friendly flora, Marcus was really clear that these were kind of designed to help deal with the kind of global trauma that people are going through. These programs are actually quite profound in addressing sort of areas of consciousness. And I seek those out a lot when I'm sort of wanting to tap into impacting the morphic field. And when we were all together last month, we really got a big dose of that. So those programs are quite exciting. Conflict balance is really about addressing conflict within ourselves. Defense support, a form of protection, and friendly flora kind of recognizes the importance of our microbiome and how to create harmony at that level of our being, which translates into almost everything else. So the advice there again is to run one of those on Monday, another one on Wednesday, another one on Friday before we move on to the second group. So one of the other groups that I mentioned is the classical physical, classical energetic, and the Zapper protocol. What's very exciting about the first 2 of these is that these are actually the rife frequencies that many of us have been hearing about in the world of frequency for many years, and that many people who are a little bit familiar with frequency, not necessarily Healy, have heard about. So it is a nice way to kind of reach people that have a regard for the right frequencies, is that we have those here, both in the classical physical programs and the classical energetic. The Zapper protocol is particularly exciting, I think, because these are the Hulda Clark parasite healing frequencies. And I know, within the holistic world, people have been seeking out Dr. Clark's protocols for many, many years to deal with parasites. So this one, we were encouraged that one can be used independently, even outside of the 3x3 schedule that was recommended. But again, super valuable for anyone that's dealing with parasites. So those are those 2 groups. And then the third one, which of course is very near and dear to my heart, are the Ayurveda programs of the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha doshas. The energy principles that relate mostly to air, fire, and water. And I finally did have a chance to speak to Marcus when we were in San Francisco at the training about how he had conceived of these. And he did confirm for me that these programs really are ideally designed to address imbalances of those energies, which was very, very satisfying to me. So I run scans, these programs all the time. And when I see anything come up with, any of the Ayurveda programs, of course, I run them. But I want to just offer just a tiny bit of insight about how we also might be looking at them. Because when we started today, Adriana reminded us how hot and sticky it is here in Florida. And one of the cool things about working with the doshas is they correspond to our individual constitutions. So I work with people to identify what their primary constitutional type is, and I'm always available for that if anybody wants to reach out to me. we use these specific programs to address imbalances in any of those energies, an excess of air, fire, or water energies that create symptoms in the body. And getting back to Adriana's comment, the doses also relate to the seasons and the climate. So when we're in a situation like we are here in Florida today, and for the summer of really hot and sticky, the balancing qualities are cooling, soothing, and purifying. And those are the vibrations, those are the frequencies that would be offered by the Pitta program. So whenever we're dealing with issues about excess heat, which would be any kind of infection or inflammation or itis or anger or frustration, the Pitta program would be an ideal one to run to balance those energies of excess fire, which would also be described by liver issues in Chinese medicine that I'm sure Dr. Michelle Patrick would agree with. So here in summertime in the Northern Hemisphere, we would be particularly looking at the Pitta programs. And at other times of year, we could be looking at Vata is for autumn and winter, and Kapha is for winter and spring when we're dealing more with dampness. So I have to confess, and Doc, I'm hoping you can help us out here, because we also have a 10th program in this group, that's the Rebalance program. And I have to confess that I meant to ask Marcus about this when we were together, and I forgot to do that with all the excitement. So I'm very attracted to this program. And I've been running it a lot. It's quite long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes because along with the rest of the power of 3, which is so profound, I really believe that we are all being upgraded these days by life and by using the Healy. And whenever I'm feeling the desire for like a higher level of integration of all of the other frequency work that I've been benefiting from the Healy, I've been attracted to the Rebalance program. But Doc, I'm hoping you can provide a little bit more data on that, because that's just intuitive on my part.
Basically, the Rebalance program in a way is what it sounds like, which is that once you've gone through the 9-week protocol, it's a way to sort of recall those frequencies back and have the body go through a balancing effect using primarily the frequencies of all 9 of those particular programs, but to be used after you've gone through that 9-week balancing program.
Okay,
the initial
perfect.
9-week program.
Thank you. So that was sort of my intuitive sense about it. And again, we had wanted to make sure that we were finishing on time today. So those are the highlights of what I wanted to share with anybody. Open to questions, but otherwise can turn it back to Adriana.
Thank you, Susan. Actually, somebody just asked a question about should we repeat the 9-week program periodically? I think that's a great
question. Doc, what do you think about that?
I don't see why not. I mean, I would think, a lot of things like Ayurveda and other programs are related to the seasons, Chinese medicine related to the seasons. So I would think that you can run them once every, 4 months.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And I also do scans of that group very regularly. And not surprisingly, when I did it today, Pitta came up because we're having a very Pitta day. So again, I love this group and always happy to talk about it. And especially now that we've got some wisdom directly from Marcus, been particularly exciting. So great to see you all.
Thank you for being here, Susan, and we hope to have you back soon again with your expertise and all of your knowledge. Again, it's never, like she said, the Healy keeps updating and upgrading every time, and we get new ways, and we can never learn enough, right, on how to maximize our Healys. So with that said, please take advantage of the wonderful offer that we have right now, where you can upgrade your resonance to a professional for 900 euros or $1,091, and that counts for 1,000 QV. It's an amazing offer, again, where you can get all of these programs like the bioenergetic defense, job, beauty, the digital nutrition, and the bioenergetic vitalization on top of the programs that you already have with the Resonance, our Resonance Plus. Mind you, again, from going from a Resonance, not only you get these from the professional, but you also gain the deep cycle age learning, skin, the Aura module, as well as the Success Coach module, which we spoke about last week with Lori Falk. So if you weren't able to attend or watch the replay, make sure you do so, because she shares fantastic insights also on the coach module. And the week prior, we also had Doc Steve and Ken Close talk about bioenergetic vitalization and the importance of the digital nutrition as well. So if you haven't been able to catch some of these recent recordings, make sure you do. They are available on our YouTube channel as well as in our Telegram group. Again, having the access to a professional at 50% discount with a coil added to that. And for those of you who already have a resonance, it never hurts. We had Terry Perez also speak about the importance of having not only multiple devices, but making sure that all of your devices are a professional edition. So take advantage of this opportunity. Now, again, I don't want to run over time, so I can go over this next week, I should say. Let me kind of go over. Then I apologize, we're not supposed to show that. Here we go. So again, our Frequencies and Friends is resuming this Friday, June 17th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Marcus Mika will be present speaking about the MagHealy. So again, obviously he goes into detail and all of the different protocols. So make sure you mark your calendars and that you RSVP. Even if you can't attend, you have access to the recording for a few days post the Frequencies and Friends event. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Ken Close, who has a little message for you guys before we end our meeting.
Wow, thank you so much, Amit. What value everyone has presented here today, and I want to address how we're receiving this and a mindset and an understanding about one of our most powerful assets is our mind. But remember not to discount the body. And I love this quote by Nikola Tesla, and I'll read it here because it says that everyone should consider their body as a priceless gift from one whom he loves above all. A miraculous work of art, incredible beauty and mystery beyond human conception, and so delicate that a word, a breath, a look, nay, a thought may injure it. So keep in mind the power of our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions. And these things really are what steers the health of the body. So thank you guys for being here today. I love you all, and keep this in mind. Empower yourselves. I love you. Thanks. Adriana, back to you.
Thank you for sharing that today. And I hope that all of the information shared with all of you today was of value and that you're able to duplicate and multiply your business with it. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the speakers today. Thank you, Susan, of course, for joining us. And make sure you watch the replay on this in our YouTube and our Telegram group. So thank you, everybody.